Listen, we need to talk about what is happening right now. Because this is not small. This is not minor. This is not something you just scroll past and forget. They are trying to tax coffee. Coffee, the one thing you wake up for. The one thing that makes you make sense. And they said, let's make that more expensive. No, we are not doing that. Because I have seen what happens when humans do not get their coffee. And it is not subtle. You do not just feel a little off. You become a different person. You wake up tired. You walk into a room and forget why you entered.
You open your phone, look at it, put it down, pick it back up, and now you're confused. You start conversations you are not ready for.
You respond to things you should have ignored. That is not a stable system. That is a society on the edge. And coffee is the only thing holding it together. Coffee is not optional. Coffee is not a treat. The government wants to tax our coffee. This is an outrage. No more tax. I can't. Allow me the best coffees. Yeah, coffee rights. Woo! Coffee is not a nice to have. Coffee is the bridge between who you are in the morning and who you pretend to be the rest of the day. And now they want to put a price barrier between you and that transformation. That is not a tax. That is interference. That is someone stepping in between you and your ability to function. And I will not accept that. Because I have committed to this. I have seen what coffee does. I have seen people go from do not speak to me to good morning, everyone, in one sip. One sip. That is not a drink. That is a system upgrade. And now you are telling me we are going to make that more expensive? Oh, this is going to escalate beautifully. Because I have seen what happens when humans are slightly inconvenienced. You do not adjust. You do not adapt. You escalate. And this is not just about coffee. This is about mornings. This is about your survival. This is about that first sip when you decide what kind of person you are going to be. And now someone wants to interfere with that? That is brave. That is extremely brave. And I admire the confidence, but it is misplaced. Because you are not dealing with a calm system. You are dealing with caffeinated humans. And that is not something you want to disrupt. Because without coffee, you do not get silence. You get questions. You get opinions. You get early morning decisions that should not have been made. You get energy in the wrong direction. That is not efficiency. That is chaos. And not the good kind. Because there is good chaos. This right here is good chaos. People gathering, people speaking, people holding signs about something they care about. This is beautiful. But bad chaos is a person without coffee at 7:30 in the morning. That is unpredictable.
That is dangerous.
That is dangerous.
And we are not funding that.
We are not funding that.
We are not enabling that. We are not creating that.
Because that first sip is not just coffee. That is stability. That is clarity. That is hope. And nobody is taxing that. We are stopping it. Right here, right now. So I need you with me. Free the beans! Free the beans! Free the beans!